Peace, family. Am I on? Hey there. I'm so sorry. I'm late. I am so late. Peace to the east, the west, the north, and the south. This is FleurBrun coming to you today with a new topic of discussion. I know I was late. I was supposed to come on live at like 9. Is anyone on here? Are you guys there? I think y'all are here. Is anybody there? There you go. Hey, Quantum Sensei. All is well. Remember, Florida is in like some quote unquote state of emergency. So I was supposed to come on early at 9 o'clock this morning, but there's so much going on. I went to go get gas. There was no gas at any gas stations. These people are hoarding. They're like hoarding everything. I went to go get gas, couldn't get gas. I had to go to another gas station. They had limitations on gas. It was crazy. So Florida, if you don't know, is the volume low? Can everyone hear me okay? Put a 13 if you can hear me okay. Let me know that you can hear me just fine. Okay, y'all can hear me? Perfect. It's a tad low. It is low. For some, it's okay. For some, it's low. Okay. Okay, so there's no gas where you are, Michelle? Yeah, it was crazy. I'm like, the storm isn't coming. Floridians have a way. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes Floridians get it right, but they're super, super excited. This is like for them Super Balls. It's almost like Super Balls in Florida when you have a hurricane. When a hurricane's coming, Super Balls, they go and take all the water off the shelf. They go and hoard all the gas. It's out of control. So from this morning to this afternoon, you know, I'm a super prepper, so I have all the basics, but I wanted to get all the goodies. So, you know, I do like the multiple tasks. So anyway, peace to everyone coming in. I'm just getting some water and hydrated. I just walked in, so I apologize about that. I do apologize. So we're gonna get into today's open call. Oh, happy, blissful new maiden moon. So it is a maiden moon too, so it's amazing. It's big up to the maiden new moon in Virgo. Remember, Virgo has to do with, you know, they're very organized. You know, it's the earth sign. Earth signs are very organized. You know, Virgos have a way of compartmentalizing. I love you, Virgos. Big up to the Virgos because you're bringing in that new energy. Abundance comes on at this time. So remember to write your manifestation. It is a new moon in Virgo. Remember, when the moon isn't showing, that's when you can actually manifest, because as I told you, my personal opinion, what I know to be, is that the moon is an artificial satellite set up to mostly cause havoc to women. It was run by diabolical reptilians at one point. There's, you know, they've had bombs on the bases in the moon, all kinds of craziness. But the most you can manifest so much easier during a new moon. So write your intent. Make sure if you use tools and lighting candles at the time. So this video is about having an open call. Big up to all those who already booked their tickets. A lot of people are booking their tickets for the conference. And I have to say, I'm grateful for those who booked their tickets already. As I said before, because some people were asking me, they're all asking me at the same time, so because I just read some of the emails. You can have a choice of staying wherever you want. There's one particular hotel that I found was really nice, that was close to the conference, that most people are staying at. So if you got that email with the actual conference location, the actual hotel, it's just a suggestion. Some people are staying at Airbnbs around the corner. Some people are actually staying in New Orleans. They're going to drive into the bayou for the conference. So it's really on to you, because remember, we're doing the, remember, for those who booked, this is for those who booked, just giving, you know, a little information. For those who booked, just know we're doing the greet and eat. only a Creole could do greet and eat. Greet and eat, y'all. We gonna go eat some good food in New Orleans. So on Friday. Oh, anyway, just to let you know, for those, I gave you the information. Just make sure, hit me back. If you don't want to stay there, that's fine. You're not obligated to stay there. It's just a lot of people, I like when you stay on site. Last year at the conference, we all stayed at the castle. So it was really nice to stay at the castle all together, because we were knocking on each other's doors in the morning, what have you. So it was kind of fun. So this is just a suggestion. You're going to stay at the Airbnbs. People are booking. Some people are actually just going to stay in New Orleans again and then drive up to the bayou, okay, and for the conference and for the masquerade ball. And for those also, this is just conference information. I know I'm going to give it, hey, melanated high priestess, mwah, my beautiful. Just for those who are going to the masquerade ball, remember it's 17th century Marie Laveau-esque, you know, the very antiquarian dresses. The gentlemen, a couple of you guys bought some dapper outfits, so big up to the Sea Sun Stars who are coming in looking like, woo, looking like Dracula on 10, on fleek. Did I get it right? Dracula on fleek. So big up to y'all. Oh, I just feel a little dizzy. I'm having all these, anyway. So this is an open call. This video is an open call. I just wanted to make a video opening up the doorway. I had been contacted by a being. You know, I am in contact with many different types of species of ETs on our planet. And, you know, I have to remind you that I am sane, I am drug-free and alcohol-free. I am a mother, and I'm pretty pliable during the day. So for those who think that FleurBrun is sipping on the yak all day or chiefing, it is in my cup of tea, okay? So, yeah, I felt dizzy. You remember, because of the storm, I've been getting a little, like, off. A little nauseous this morning. So that being said, I got contacted by a particular being who said they were interested in perhaps doing a disclosure of themselves at the conference, and they had made a suggestion that I open up the doorways to extraterrestrials rather than contactee speaking only, that I open up have the first conference that actually opens up having an open liaison, open mic to those ET groups that are openly living amongst us and having them speak, as opposed to having you know, just basically people who are in contact with them or hybrids of them. So this video is for the actual extraterrestrials that are actually living amongst us. This is an open call to you. You have an open invitation to contact me at any time. You will have anonymity. I will not film you if you don't want. You will have anonymity to speak. I will give you a chance to disclose yourself and speak to those at the conference. I'm really excited about this option because I think you know, we can't just speak about ETs and our contacts with them or some of our bloodlines that are related to them without actually opening up the conversation or the doorway to allow for that kind of open contact. So this video is for open contact. So for those ETs, extraterrestrials, many of you are assigned to me. Many of you are in contact with the people who listen to me. Many of you are telepathically receiving this message so that you understand and understand that I'm actually opening up an open door for you to contact me. Now there are limitations. This invitation is only for those in alignment and for the higher and greatest purpose of Mother Tiamat, and for those contactees and people that are actually going to be there. So this invitation is for those extraterrestrials, interterrestrials, and interdimensionals who would like to attend FleurBrun Experiencer Conference 2019, and you will definitely be able to speak your truth and speak and do your own personal disclosure. And I will leave an open forum for those who are part of the extraterrestrial communities to be able to be our star family, and those who are just part of other star families to have the opportunity to come and speak with anonymity, or if anonymity is not something definitely that you, it's a big deal for you, we would definitely open that platform so that people can see live as well. So for those extraterrestrials, interterrestrials, and interdimensionals that are, would I like to attend FleurBrun Experiencer Conference 2019, I asked, wait, wow, I just got a pop in my ear. See, this is when I love when I get confirmation. Apparently somebody's listening to me. Someone's hearing me. Okay, so if you decide that that is an open option for yourselves and the other beings that you are associated with, and again, the invitation only goes to those who are benevolent. This invitation is only for those extraterrestrials, interdimensionals, and inner earth beings that are benevolent, higher, and in support of humanity here on Earth, and cohesive with Earthlings as well. Okay, so you will have an opportunity to come. Now, I know of, hold on. Sorry. I've been thirsty all day. For those who are deciding that this may be an option for you and you are afraid, listen, you know, if many of the extraterrestrials know that, the number one thing that I will say is that FleurBrun is a safety kind of gal. So everything, there will be security at my conference. I have a non-disclosure policy that people will not even be allowed who have booked their actual conference. They won't get the designation, the location of the conference until the week of the conference. This is my security measure to allow for the safety of those attendees who are attending the conference so that they can enjoy themselves with a level of security and peace of mind. And also this is allowance for those ETs or groups that decide to come and speak and disclose, and also contactees to have a level of security as well, so that we make sure that all the lines and perimeters are practiced so that there aren't cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs people or stalkers who are diabolicals who are trying to infiltrate the conference. Okay, so just that being said, you know, again, this a call out for any interterrestrial, extraterrestrial, interdimensional that is open and would like to disclose themselves at my conference. You are absolutely welcome if you are in a benevolent being that is here for the benefit of humanity, and also you are healthy and cohesive to the collective that are attending the conference. So if you want to contact me, make sure that you go to my description box, but I can tell you it's delgaddess. D is in Derek, E is in elephant, L is in Larry, G is in God, A is in apple, D is in Derek, D is in Derek, E is in elephant, S is in Sam, another S is in Sam @gmail.com. I will put my email again, and again, I will verify. Now, this is for all that are watching this as well who are not ETs and saying, FleurBrun, do you realize that you're going to get every crockpot, every cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs individual that will be claiming? Now remember, I'm a contactee for a reason, and I could vet an extraterrestrial, interterrestrial, and interdimensional like that. That is something I can vet out with my eyes closed. So there isn't any getting by FleurBrun in that way. If someone is an actual extraterrestrial, they have a certain frequency on them. They have a certain kind of vibration that is connected to them. So for that reason, when I, you know, have a conversation with those who are potentially coming to speak at the conference, I will have a level of certainty that they are authentic. So believe me, you family, whoever comes and speaks and is claiming to be an extraterrestrial or interdimensional or intergalactic, I will know, and they will be. So that's one thing I wanted to open that up, because someone contacted me, and I felt it absolutely worthy. This is a being that is actually, I vetted out, is definitely a, they call themselves, to many of you, extraterrestrial, but they're actually interdimensionals, which can be one and the same sometimes. So for those who are attending, make sure that when you book your reservation for the conference that you allot that, you know, when I send the actual invitation, something's been going on and the invitations have been really blurry. So I have to resend some of the invitations so that many of you can see. But just know that once you make your reservation, you're set, you're good, and I will keep sending you updates of different places that we'll be going, the certain extra things we'll be doing, and if there are other beings coming on, we might do meet and greets in the matter of in between the days that people will be there. So the conference is set for a specific day, which is November 2nd. That is just for the conference. The conference, big up to Aluna Ash, who will be joining us. Big up to Ada, who will be joining us. And I will be speaking. Also, we have, of course, as a performance, we have Cosmic Poet, who's coming in from Cali. We have him coming in straight from Cali. And of course, we have our beautiful Unica, which is one of our Sea Stars, who's a singer, so she'll come and perform. And actually, we have some pop-ins right then and there. So that's going to be a really amazing conference. This one is so much different than last year, but still with that Creole, amazing Creole flavor. It's so amazing. It's just, it's all in the theme. I guess it's just, well, it's who I am, right? So it's going to have the frequency. I will post the email for anyone coming on. And again, for those who are contactees, No, Aset is not going to attend. Her little one's turning 1 on the same weekend. And even though I was going to try to redirect the conference, it's just I picked that date for a specific reason. So I will make sure that I'll do something with Aset another time. So big up to Aset. She's going to come. So just the date didn't work, and family's always first. But what else was I going to say? The crystal, I believe, chakra level, galactic citizens. We have a lot going on. And oh, big up to the Sun Star who sent me. Now this, this is actually from a Sun Star who sent this all the way from the UK. So thank you for these beautiful organites. You made sure you sent them to me right before the hurricane. So these are organites sent to me by this beautiful Sun Star. He doesn't want anyone to know. He made them specifically. I told him I would promo him, but he doesn't want anyone to know that he made these for me. So I would normally, because he makes the most beautiful organites, and he makes them specifically to your energy and what he feels represents you. So our Sun Star made this. He made me 3. So big up to him. And again, he wants to keep his anonymity. I think they're beautiful. So he did this so I can put them all around the house. Right here. These are beautiful. So he did these so I could put them at every corner of the house. I see people putting, okay. Isn't that beautiful? That's gorgeous. Okay. I love this. So thank you again for such beautiful craft work, and I will definitely put this at every point around my household. So thank you again, Sun Star. It was very beautiful. And even when he delivered, listen, when he delivered my crystals, look, he had crystals all surrounding them. So they were protected in beautiful wrapping, and they were protected by other crystals. So each of these organites was actually protected by crystals. So he had crystals all over them, protecting the energy. So he didn't even want the energy totally being dissipated by traveling abroad. So he covered them all by crystals. It's beautiful. Anyway, thank you. I appreciate it. So family, some people are saying they could not see the invitation. It's something to do with the glitch. It could be something going on with the with how I sent it. So for anyone who, I just saw emails coming in. So for anyone who got their invitation and can't read it, I'll resend it. It's probably the way it's being sent. It was fine being sent the other day. Something's gone on with it because I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's the technology. I have a lot. Let me just state this. I have a lot of good, sturdy technology. I'm just not the best at using it. So I feel bad for my technology because I'm not the person who maximizes the amount of technology. So I'll resend the invitations. Okay. Oh, Warrior, you too? Okay, I'll resend it. It's probably because of it. I've got to send it as an attachment. Did you get it as an attachment, or did you just get it as a full-on? I probably did it quickly. I'll resend it. Okay, so so let me get into some of the. I'm a little stifled today because I've been running around. You just got a regular? Okay, Warrior. I'm sorry. That was me. I probably just sent it. Let me state this again. Yes, another Sun Star. If you are a contactee, if you are extraterrestrial that is here for humanity and benevolent, if you are someone who is a performer, a drum circleist, or a singer, or you do some sort of wonderful, sacred geometrical sort of, performance, please come. I'm getting phone calls. Listen, family, it's a storm here, so everyone and their mother is calling me right now. I mean, I've got 50, because we're in Florida, everyone's calling at the same time, so I'm sorry. If I seem a little distracted, that's why I was late coming to the live, because there's so much going on in Florida, and mind you, the storm isn't until Monday. They're closing down schools here on Tuesday. Like, they excited. I said it's like Super Bowls. They're acting like it's Super Bowls. Like, people are excited. They get excited when a storm comes. So it wasn't anything. So I apologize if I'm a little off. So for those who are performers who like to perform at the event, let me know, hit me up. Especially if you want to attend, I can do something about that. So I said super balls. Yeah, it's super balls because all they do is worship the ball. You know, that's why I say it's a very, if you're a straight man and you like watching Super Bowls, you know, you should really rethink that because it's all, where's the ball going? You going to bend over, have another man grab the balls in between your leg and say hike. I mean, it's just, you know, I know last year people were upset at me because I messed up their whole Super Bowls, but I'm just saying, males, you know, it's a very interesting thing that you like to isolate. You don't even want women in the room unless they're all about the balls. And then all you do is watch balls being exchanged, thrown, grabbed, and men popping all over themselves in leotards. I mean, if you are a gay man, I could understand totally why you want to watch that. But as a straight man, I just question your consciousness to even be able to watch and enjoy that. I personally like men who aren't into that. I'm sorry. I messed it up for a few of you last year. I can get the emails. So anyway, family, I'm so frazzled. So a storm's coming, and I think someone had sent some information regarding. There's a couple of things I was supposed to make an announcement. This video was totally to just make an open call for extraterrestrials to be able to speak at the conference. For any group of extraterrestrials that's benevolent, you are more than welcome to join us for the conference. Please email me and I will verify. And once I verify, you are more than welcome to disclose yourself with anonymity or without. It's up to you. Now, for some warnings to those who were on my IG, there's a couple things going on right now. So this is more so connected to those who are actually in the southeast right now who may be affected by the hurricane. I noticed some really shady things going on, and I really need you to be very, very mindful and pay attention. A lot of the water bottles, not like this one, but not like this one, but other water bottles. I noticed even when I went to go get my oxygen water, there were water bottles that were opened purposefully, and it wasn't just a few. And as you know, call me a little paranoid, but I always feel like I have a healthy paranoia. I personally think that they're messing with the water bottles. Either they're putting something in it. I mean, remember, family, we're going into September to remember there is the 2012 precipice. We're on the precipice of 2012, which is in the Hebrew calendar. We're also going to a major event that's supposed to happen. All the crazies going over to Area 51. So just be mindful of your water bottles. Something is going on, and if I notice it, you know what's happening. The water bottles weren't even sealed. Bombarded with calls. I don't like this is why I'm not a fan of having cell phones. This is why I don't like cell phones. For this reason alone. Cell phones allow people to electronically harass you. I just think if you get cell phones, I think a lot of times people have too much access to you too easily, and I feel like it destroys your life. I don't like cell phones for that reason. I don't want people calling me back to back perpetually during the day. I remember people call your house, they leave a message on your bootleg. Remember you play like a radio next to your your voicemail and you thought you were cool? Some of you would play like Jodeci. You know, you used to play that and you say, hey, this is FleurBrun. I'm not home right now, but if you leave me an amazing message, if you're lucky, I'll get back to you. I love those days. And then you come home and you're so excited that you got maybe 3 or 4 messages. Then you sit down in your leisure with your snacks or your water, and then you can listen to the messages and you can verify whether you want to call those people back or not. Now I feel like we're electronically allowing Big Brother to just bombard us with phone calls from everywhere. I'm sorry, I had to vent. Because all day, phone calls. I'm in Florida. It is what it is. It is what it is. I told you I'm going to be naked and unafraid dancing in the hurricane. I already told you what I'm doing. I'm dancing naked and unafraid in the hurricane. I do it every year. I'm planting flowers outside. I already got my seedlings. This is what I do during a hurricane. I get excited. All the fairies, you see all the energy underneath the trees. You see the fairies going like this because they're going to be dropping it like it's hot. I'm excited. This is a very celebratory time, but I want to stay, peace of mind. Someone said, oh, aren't you worried about the roof of your house? If you overstand the universe wants you to win. So whatever happens, inevitably, I know it's for my greatest and highest good. If I accept that, I know that I'll be abundant, I'll be healthy, I'll be somewhere fabulous. And if I'm not in my house, I'll be in a fabulous suite somewhere, enjoying my house getting renewed under the insurance policy. the beautiful insurance policy that's paid. So regardless of anything, I'm just saying, people have a worriment about things, and what they don't realize is by perpetually projecting that, they put that on. It's like cursing someone. So I just tell them, I'll be naked and unafraid. You know, there's a snack party down the block. I'll be there if I could get there without the wind, and that's all it is. So Anna bottles most likely isn't safe. Anna bottles. Okay, so oh yes, okay, so the water bottles, I would be very careful of, family. I didn't notice just one water bottle, I noticed several. And whenever you see smoke, just know that there's fire. When I went, and this was last week before the storm was even projected of really making, you know, more so for Puerto Rico, it was going there. So when I went into, and I got my oxygen water. So, you know, I'm getting a really bougie water that isn't quite out in the, nobody really knows, there isn't a lot of oxygen water in regular grocery stores. There were 4 water bottles that were already opened. And it was suspicious because it was open at the bottom. Now, mind you, I have a certain amount of integrity in that, saying, well, maybe they came from the same factory. No, because it happened last week when it was a different shipment. Then when the new shipment came in, it was more water bottles that were already open. So that is my warning to anyone, especially in the Northeast. Be careful, or anybody. Watch your water bottles. Make sure there aren't any punctures into your water bottles. They are really working hard to mess with everyone before September. They got vegan Munster burgers over in KFC. Somebody said Burger King. They got Munster vegan burgers with all kinds of nanotechnology. They got people fighting, mass criminal fighting over in, what is it, Popeye the Sailor Man. They broke up the fighting. I've never seen anything like it. Okay, so they're doing something technologically. They're trying to mess with people. So watch your water bottles. Also, people, I know that many were really concerned about the video I shared on IG. So make sure that, I do know it was disturbing to see the video that I shared, and it wasn't to scare anyone. It was to make you aware. There were children in the UK. A woman walked past and she attempted to stab the child in the head, and then went to go stab another child just randomly. Some regular woman that looks like somebody's aunt or something just walked past a little boy. I think he was like 3 or 4, and juked him in the head. And then the parents didn't even know what happened, and then went to go do it. So just listen, family. The dark ones are really on 10. They've got their minions, and you have a lot of people who are basically empty seeders that are being activated via technology or the demons inside of them from birth or from dark deeds. Okay, so you have to be very mindful. That being who did that, she got arrested, but she already did the crime. Watch your little ones. I suggest during this time, you have hashed out a plan to make sure you protect them. Always, like myself and my ex used to always walk with the girls in between us to disallow people to come from the side. You know, these parents weren't suspecting. It isn't even their fault. It's a random act, a violent act. But for that reason, I just tell you all to say that just be mindful if you got the little ones, especially when they're very, very tiny and they're unaware. Just keep them in between you, or make sure that you have them in front of you rather behind you. Okay, so that you can see someone coming and going. If you keep little ones behind you, what happens is that someone could do something behind you. Okay, so I knew the video was really disheartening, and I do apologize. I do apologize. But you had to see how horrific this act is, and how these empty seaters are real, family. They are real. They get activated by governmental agencies. They can be turned on in a drop of a dime. You have to be on 10 when you're walking out in the matrix. When you're in your safe stratosphere, you're good. You know, you protect your household. Make sure you're shielding your babies. You know how we talk about in physicality, you protect them as you can physically, but also there's ways for you to protect them, spiritually and more so metaphysically. So I always do things like this. You always have stuff on the babies like this. I think it's outside. I don't know. I don't know if we have it inside or it's in her bag. Maybe. I don't know where it is. Here, you can have this one. Can you do me a favor and open the oven and just turn it off for me? Okay. So, Mr. Corey's making jokes about footballs. Big up to Mr. Corey. Mr. Corey hates when I talk about footballs. Super balls. Sorry, Mr. Corey. I'm messing up with your Super Bowl themes. You're betting. I'm sorry. I don't mean to abuse you, men. I just gotta let you know your balls don't need to be obsessed with other men. You know, that's something that maybe women should be looking at, or maybe gay men, but certainly not straight, virile, healthy men. I'm sorry. Mr. Corey just texted me. Big into Mr. Corey. He's going to tear me a new one when I get off here. So what was I saying? So just be mindful. Oh, what was I saying? Be mindful to have protect your babies with shields. Okay. Many of you come from base of the occult, juju, voodoo, obia, Jongage, Santeria, Wiccans, warlocks, metaphysical priestesses. You know, oh my God, if I get another phone call, family. Yeah, you saw that? It's that the little boy. So again, family, I'm sorry if it bothered your peace of mind, but I would prefer to be the mother that tells you that this is happening than you walking around and something random like that happens and no one ever warned you that this could be happening. People are out their minds, and literally technology is taking over people. We got body hackers right now. People's bodies are being hacked, and you need to be mindful that this is the case. So for that reason, you know that people can be taken over like Smiths. If you need to be reminded, go and watch another Matrix series. Go watch Matrix. When a Smith could be anybody, as long as they're in the Matrix, anybody could be a Smith. You heard what Morpheus said, right? He said, so long, baby. Can you do me a favor and take them out of the oven for me? Because I don't want them to burn. Okay, so long as you are in the Matrix, anybody could be a Smith. It could be your sister. It could be your brother. Especially if people are drinking. If they're sipping on the yak, listen. These are telltale signs that people can be inceptible. If they're sipping on the yak, people who are alcoholics, I could care less if they're functional alcoholics. They could go to work every day. I've known functional alcoholics where they're all groovy in the daytime, but they require like a fifth of vodka every night just to sleep. Okay, so make sure you're mindful that someone who's more hackable definitely is engaged in drinking and alcohol, which is wine and spirits. So things can just hop into them by the nature that they don't have their force fields around them isn't necessarily protected, and that they're inceptible at any moment. People who are perpetually doing drugs. Now, most people be like, well, if I chief, if you're chiefing and smoking it, which is changing the molecular structure, you are inceptible as well. Most people think if you're chiefing, I've seen people change personalities from chiefing. I've seen someone go from chilling to just totally being another type of being. If you're doing something every day, you took all of them out? Good, they're okay? Yeah. Okay, thanks, babe. If you're doing something all the time and you require it and it's breaking down your protective field, your auric field, anything can hack you, okay? And just today I saw a little boy, and this is for parents, okay? Because I really feel like I speak as a parent, I speak to the parents. Oh, please, everyone put a like on my video, please. Let me say this. Let me thank you first. I want to thank everyone for liking my videos. I really appreciate it. I don't know that I noticed a big difference initially, but now I do. I feel like they don't mess with me as much because they feel like my content is being appreciated, and they actually know that people are watching and actually noting that they're watching. So I'm grateful. So please put a like on my video if you get a chance, just as a common courtesy. I appreciate it though every time you do it. Let me state this. Today I saw a little boy. Now, remember, myself and my mother are facilitators, okay? So this is really scary, family, and that's why I say you have to be mindful and protect your own. It's very necessary for you to do so. So, you know, the little boy today lost consciousness. He didn't even know what happened to him, but he was awake and walking and aware, okay? So mind hack does not just happen to adults. Why I share this? Because we have to be careful. You know, the mother says that this little boy has a condition, obviously, that affects, oh my God. Sorry, family. You're gonna hear my phone for a while, and I gotta leave it on because relatives are calling. And you know, the twin is calling, and Kirk is calling, and the ex is calling, all the men are calling. Just they're calling at the same time. The little boy today was hacked. Okay, the mother had said that he has these episodes. Sometimes there's things like what some children have a condition where they have epilepsy, forms of epilepsy, where it causes a sometimes not they don't necessarily get a seizure, but they get moments and episodes where they kind of black out. They may still be walking, they're unaware of what happens, sometimes they do things. Now, there's been cases, and I remember being in a case, why I'm bringing this up because it's very important for you to hear this. There was a case in Grand Mall, people have all kinds of petty mall seizures, things like that. It doesn't always happen where someone falls down and has a full-on seizure. Sometimes it's just a matter they just stuck. They just stick in place like this, or they go on and they just don't have a memory, it just blacks them out, okay? So why I bring up this little boy is because he did this at school, and the mother didn't know where he was, and he actually started, during his episode, he blanked out totally, where everyone around him wasn't aware that he did, because he was functioning like as if somebody else was monitoring, making him walk. So mind you, the little boy checked out, but something walked in him and was actually walking as if he was okay. So the little boy has no memory of getting down the block. He has no memory of where he got there or how he got there. They found him, but he has no memory. Now this is hacking. This is a form of hacking. Sometimes children who have this, many of the MK Ultra children that are utilized for some of these diabolical experiments, that is what happens to them as well. So be careful, because years ago there was a gentleman who was, I think we went to high school. What year? I think it was in our junior year of high school. Don't get me wrong. I think it was my junior. Some of my girlfriends will probably know. Junior year of high school. No lie. We were going to like a high school game. Big up to the footballs crew. Guys on the football team were so handsome. Anyway, so we were going to the football team, and a guy had gone down and kept walking down the bleachers, and one of his friends noticed that he had, before he did it, he actually urinated on himself, and then he got up and walked down the bleachers, and then he went in his pocket, because back in the days in New York City, a lot of people carried knives, which, it wasn't, I lived in Westchester County, which was nicer because we had a beautiful field, but people carried knives for protection, especially guys. So I know, FleurBrun, but the guy walked down, he peed on himself, and he walked down and walked up the bleacher, like down the bleachers and up the bleachers, and then looked at somebody, blinked, and then stuck him in the neck, and then took it out and just walked in and sat down and had no memory of it, no recollection. Now, he was arrested, obviously, he had to do time. He didn't even he was diagnosed with some form of like a type of epilepsy, but I personally, at the time, my dad, who wasn't aware at the time, said he was possessed by the devil. My dad is not religious. My dad was like, some possessed that man's body and took over when he knew the man wasn't in there, and kind of sidebarred his consciousness, almost like Get Out, and took the opportunity to do something diabolical like a demon would. That my dad said that, and my dad was not really, about the conversation like we have now. So all this to say, family, anybody could be a Smith. Anybody could be those beings. It isn't to put fear in you, but it's to make you motivated to be more mindful and to be on alert, because we are basically witnessing a war out there. There's a war out there right now, and it would be negligent for me to keep you blinded to the possibilities of craziness happening that I'm seeing and getting videos of. I'm getting tons of videos of all of these walk-in type of scenarios, these hijacked people, and that's more than I've ever gotten. Because I'm getting a lot of this now, I'm noticing that this is becoming more regular than not. I think the government is starting to activate a lot of the Manchurian candidates that they have. Some of these I'm getting dizzy again. Anybody else in Florida getting these dizzy? I'm getting dizzy. Oh my God. I've been drinking all day. Yeah. It's like the environment makes you a little dizzy. Hold on. I'm not going to stay on too long. You hungry? Chandra, me too. Anxiety? I don't know if it's anxiety. I'm new here, but you received my email. Vampire, I don't know that I have vampire. I'll check my email. I will. Yeah, it's just sometimes, yeah, it's because, remember, usually we'll get headaches too, whenever a storm's coming, you should feel it physically. So whenever heavy, because remember the barometric, what is it, the barometric field becomes really heavy and it pulsates. Because of that messes with your head. A lot of people get sinus headaches. Remember, I feel it right away. I feel when it gets closer, and it isn't even close yet. You're in Lakeland, are you getting it? Barometric changes in the atmosphere, right, Narder? Narder, I gotta call you. I went to sleep last night. I was supposed to call you last night, hon. I'm sorry. She used to have seizures when she had a tumor. I'm sorry about that. You wake up dizzy and nauseous. I think if you're in Florida, though, right now, you're gonna feel it more. Email is the same name. Okay. Oh, it's not the same name, Vampire? It's Susan? No. Okay, I'll check it out, love. Yeah, the barometric, thank you, April, the barometric pressure. You can feel it. Because today was like, I just sat down and I feel like I'm moving. So I know I'm going to go lie down. Listen, everyone, Dark Crystal starts today on Netflix. Me and my little ones are going to be eating snacks. We got some company coming. We're going to eat snacks on the couch and we're going to watch Dark Crystal. For those who, listen, this is the time to watch Dark Crystal. Make sure you are ready because I've noted that the twin flame phenomena is connected to the alignment, to the conjunction that they talk about in Dark Crystal. So you know they're going to do a new remix because we're right before September. So I'm trying to see what kind of gems they're going to have in it. It's exciting. I love when we have new stuff. Like, I don't know if they could really trump Jim Henson because Jim Henson was the bomb.com. You have headaches the last few days. Okay. So, this is just me giving you heads up for family with the children. Make sure you are watching the babies, okay? Watch the babies. These diabolicals are hurting the babies. That's what they want to do. Like I said, I will leave the country and you will just know what happened based on my actions, okay? So that's the kind of mother I am. I'm Mother Bear where you even look the wrong way, I will take out you and your lineage. I don't have a problem with that. I go from 0 to 10. Not in 2 seconds, but I'm really one of those mama bears that I'm about this. I wanted those little ones. I promised them when they were born that everything I could do possible to make sure their lives are amazing, beautiful, and that they would be safe and they would have beautiful families later that will extend my family lineage. I will take a nation out for my children. A nation. And that's not a threat. That's a mother's promise. Okay, so listen, and all the women I'm around are just like that, times 10. And I'm not a foolish one either. You do something blind, I will win every case and I will prevail. And you and yours will lose it in this realm, in others, in other lives, what have you. Anyway. So just that putting out there, watch the water bottles. Watch these. I told you guys to get these. I'm sorry, because look, it doesn't work. I bought this because they took my other one in Brazil. FleurBrun's off the hook. They took mine in Brazil. I was really pissed off. They took mine. So now I bought this new one because I always have it in the house for the little ones or anything happen. You know, these it's like it's a blowhorn. This joint doesn't work. So be careful when you're buying things, family, especially during this time. If you're in Florida, make sure you test it. So I got to bring it in tomorrow. I don't even know that I want to go anywhere tomorrow, but it doesn't even work. So this is what I was telling you to get though. It always usually works. So this is what I was telling everyone to get, the women, for young women, for your little girls. You know, if you have little girls that are actually walking to school or taking subways or trains by themselves, this they should have in their purse. They have a smaller version of it. Always have this on you for little boys, little girls alike. All children matter, okay? Women, you should have this. Yeah, it's kid friendly. It's not a big deal. They took it from me in Brazil because they don't, you know, you can't have this on a plane. Because if I did this during a plane ride, I'd freak out the pilot and everything. It's not safe. But this is wonderful for little ones. It's no gas or anything. It's just a blowhorn. So for those who, I always say it's like $11. It's not a big deal. I'm probably going to just return this one. And just get the other one. The other one worked fine. This one just is a dud. Okay, I haven't bought one that didn't work. But this is very loud. I always suggest many of our family, men too, you know, because a lot of our men don't want to go out and get broke up. There's no reason why they need to go to jail for some foolishness. You know what I mean? A punk that tries to come up on you would be very scared of this, okay? I think that's it. Like I said, family, anybody else want to I don't know what else. Was I supposed to discuss anything else? I think that's it. I think that's it. I'm a little frenzied because I'm just thinking about the 50 million things and 50 million people I have to call. Um, you okay? Hey, Legatus. Leo Gaddess. Get one for your daughter. Now, yes, yes. They're trying to make vaccines mandatory. Screw them. I'm vile today. Welcome to FleurBrun 2.0. I converge with the more hostile FleurBrun. Screw them. If they're trying to make your babies take some vaccinations, you have to be vigilant. I swear to you, Kelly is going hard with the vaccinations right now. It's pissing me off. Okay, so our Cali brethren, please contact me and I will send you the information. If you're in Cali, there is a way to still, I still think they have the religious exemption. The religious exemption should be fine, but if not, I'm telling you to go to a pediatrician who is known to do it. Usually they have them listed. Go to a pediatrician, usually a holistic one. It's worth paying the money for one visit to a holistic pediatrician. If you go to a DO for children, a pediatrician that's a DO, or a naturopathic physician, my little ones are loud. I've got like 10 little girls in my garage. It's so cute. I could hear them. Go to the physician. A DO will write you a note saying that they are giving you the exemption, a medical exemption. If not the DO, definitely a naturopathic. I would prefer you go to a DO because they're certified and they're more accepted by governmental institutions as valid. So that's my first, or if not the DO, definitely go for the DO, that's a pediatrician, or go to a naturopathic. Go to the DO first. Pay the $150 to go. It's worth it to me because there isn't anything that you should let, especially now with the vaccinations, they're giving them for free. These bastards are on 10 right now. They know that we're about to hijack, we're about to beam off this planet real quick, and they're trying to keep people bound here. So make sure you aren't getting any new, for those who are tattoo fans, don't get any more new tattoos. They're nanobotting it. Make sure that you're mindful of the food that you're eating. If you can make everything. For the babies, just make sure that you are making as much food as possible from your own goods. I always say to the moms, try to exchange amongst each other. You know, what else? There was something else. Something else that someone asked me. Sometimes I remember, sometimes I don't. The smock, oh yes, for those who are for the pregnant women, the smocks for pregnancy, that is very much a must. I think I sent, where is Kay? Kay on here? I don't know if Kay got it. Kay, I sent Kay the link for the smock for women to wear to protect themselves. Oh wait, hold on. No, if your child has exceptional needs and is under any services, support coordinator can get a form. Wait, listen to Narda. Narda knows. Hold on. Narda is also in medical care. So listen, Leo Goddess. If your child has exceptional needs and is under APD services, the support coordinator can get you the form which will allow you to waive. Thank you, Norda. I love you. Thank you. A lot of the moms are on here because we live in different states, so it's always good to get a new mom. Here in Florida, we have the waiver still, the religious, and it covers, and I had it from the girls from the time I moved here. I got it here immediately, so it covers them through college, through university. Okay, so for that reason, every time they try to overstate it, you go to another, my girlfriend Kay, Mary Kay, big up to Mary Kay. She did it for her children years ago, and she got it through a DO. That's how I know you can go through a DO, which is a holistic practitioner, but they're still medically certified. So they're still doctors under the standards of Western medicine. So they have the official, medical degree, but also they're a DO. So they also have an alternative medicine degree, which allows them to treat you Western, Eastern, or otherwise. Okay, so I always go to a DO. DO will give you the form and be able to give you a waiver. If you have black boys, please do not let them. Yes, Children of color, especially brown little boys, boys in general are more susceptible to getting things based on the sensitivity. Boys' endocrine system, males' endocrine system is very sensitive, especially when they're little for some reason. It makes them, all children can, but it's boys are more susceptible. So for that reason, for some reason, boys with a heightened amount of melanin are super, super duper susceptible to autism based on any of the vaccinations. So for that reason, I always say if you have a male, just a male, females too, I say all children shouldn't be vaccinated. If you have been inoculated, then your children should have the same antibodies that you have built up in you, and during your pregnancy, those babies should still have the same amount of inoculation that you had in you. It takes about a generation or two, don't quote me on that, 2 generations for the inoculation to kind of exempt itself or mute itself out. Generally, if you've been inoculated and daddy's been inoculated, the babies will be inoculated, okay? And there's a lot of different doctors and physicians who can vet this out, okay? I was a researcher in genetics. I know this to be just based on basic genetics, but just make sure you're doing that. And for all those moms who did do vaccinations, I always say you can start to, there isn't a late stage that you can start to do a form of chelation. Chelation is very wonderful. Let me just put in this video, I am not a doctor. I am not a physician. I have 0 medical degree in present day practicing on medicine on anyone, but I am a mother. I am a holistic practitioner in my own household, and this is just advice I'm giving you based on my own motherhood and my own wisdom, okay? You can always formulate forms of chelation to your little ones. I have a girlfriend whose son is suffering from autism. He's at the age of 10 now. She started chelation when we met each other we met each other, we're actually born, listen to this, we're born on the same day in the same year. This is why I know, family, you know there isn't anything by chance. We're born on the same day, same year. We met each other at the gym. Go figure. So our son has a form of, he was 10 at the time. No, when I met her, he was about 6 or 7. So the folds in his brain didn't fully develop yet. So I started to give her advice on chelation, forms of chelation that I thought would be practical and do well. His scale of autism has almost been to the point where you can't even tell, okay? So it did work, but you have to be very, very diligent. You have to know and see him as well, or her as well, and you have to know and do different things and you always have to make sure you are documenting, especially when it comes to forms of chelation, okay? So chelation is a key. Any child who's been infected by mercury and has mercury, basically been poisoned by mercury, it's in the brain. And if you ever get an old thermometer and you see mercury, you see how mercury is like this? And like when you move it, it has this weird kind of sentient kind of like alien movement. It does the same in your brain, okay, and in your system. So if you can, mercury has certain things that you can kind of leach it out of you and pull it by claying. I had her clay her son. You know, a lot of mommies, you know, you have to be in it to win it. You can chelate your child and you can heal them based on you knowing and seeing it for them, you doing the spiritual work for them, and also you doing forms of naturopathic and forms of chelation that definitely work. They do work. Now, it's going to be 100%. I don't know, but I know that you will get some results. Edibles are being passed. You're hearing that edibles were passed by law to given to children who suffer from certain disabilities that need to be given a certain amount of feet from school. Edibles? You talking about those edible marijuanas that got me sick that my friends gave me and got me high for 5 hours and I was sick? I hope you're not saying that, because I personally don't think it's healthy to give your child any sort of chemically made marijuana. It's sick, especially from the government. There isn't anything, listen, anything is created in a laboratory by others that you can't vet out, that aren't your friends, that are not your family. You shouldn't even want that for your child. You can make your own things. In the Caribbean, I told you, my boyfriend at the time when I was younger, she was from Jamaica, Della was her name. She had overproof rum, 150 proof rum, Jamaican rum, that had marijuana seeds inside of it for over 50 years. She put this on my feet. She said I would see white men. That's what she said. She said I would see white men, not lunars, white males. I got some sort of hallucination, the fever broke. Okay, so you could do things like that. I would not trust third parties to heal your child. That's the problem. Why is every sorry. If you want to make it edible for your child and you feel like they're sick or they need it for something else, why don't you grow your own stuff? Only if you're in a state. I'm not recommending you do anything illegal, but if you're living in a state where you're allowed to do that, then you grow your own within heirloom. I'm not recommending you do that in an illegal state or any illegal activity. I'm saying if you are legally in the rights to grow your own, I say you do so with heirloom seeds. I can't say I know anyone who does that or sells that. But then you take that and you put that in with certain herbal elixirs, and then you can administer it to your children, okay, as needed. If that's something that someone recommended for a child, I wouldn't do that. Oh, this is hydrogen water. I don't think giving drugs to any child is healthy. I've seen in special ed, in Florida, I noticed that they give children candy as a reward system here in Florida. That wasn't something in New York that was allotted or legal to do, as far as I knew. But they did that as a way to give a reward system to children, and I thought it was horrific. Giving children candy with crack, which is white sugar. White sugar is a synthetic drug. I had someone bought me a scone today. Listen, I went to Starbucks and got my coffee. So my mate got me a scone, and I normally love the pumpkin scones at Starbucks. My family, I nearly had a shock from the sugar. It was so darn sweet that I was literally knocked out. I was totally knocked out. So all this say this. Be careful with white sugar with your children. They're putting it in the candies in school. They're rewarding, especially in special needs, they're using candy as a bartering system. Why would you give, and then you wonder why children grow up to be crack addicts and alcoholics. What do you think liquor is? Distilled liquor is sugar, synthetic sugar, processed sugar. You want to make yourself a nice alcoholic, keep giving your children sugar over sugar over sugar, or white sugar over sugar. All it does is nicely create your wonderful alcoholics, so that by the time they're in their teens, they're binge drinking and having, mindless sex. We have to be really mindful of the things that the children are doing or the facilitators in your school are doing. I go to my children's facility. I teach in to their school. I am accustomed, and all of the parents and the faculty know me and respect me and also honor me and ask me to do things in order to uphold a certain integrity. Why? It's because that's what I choose to do. I know that I trust zero to facilitate my children, but also I know that I chose where they would go to for instructions. I chose it, I interviewed them, and that's where they go. And I also make sure that I insert myself in that placement so that which is around my children is also around me. And the fact of the matter that I'm around all the time leaves facilitators very, very cautious and very mindful to always be in alignment and respectful and honoring of my children and other children around me. No, I know. Everything is a choice. Everyone has a choice. That I don't agree. Everyone has a choice. You choose what you do. What I do is a choice. Every time a mother gives birth to a child or she gets pregnant, that is a choice. Everybody has a choice. Whether they choose it or whether they feel like they can choose something that they want is on them. But everyone has a choice. There are always choices in life. We are here with free will. Okay? Financially, that is something that is a choice as well. If you are having children and you're not financially secure, that was your choice to have a child, knowing that you weren't financially stable enough to even secure yourself. So if you aren't stably able to secure yourself, you shouldn't bring children into that scenario, because all it does is put more weight and more insecurity in that scenario. Okay, I always say to mothers, choose your pregnancies wisely. You have a choice to give birth to children or not. Okay? We have a choice. So I want to make that clear. Everyone has a choice. People make choices and then they say they don't have a choice, but you had a choice. Choices go to other, when you make one choice, that choice will result in something. But the choice initially is what may have created maybe the more, restrictions or more freedom. It depends on the choices you make. Everyone has a choice. Okay? I chose to have children at a specific time. I was married 6 years before I had the children. I chose a certain agreement with my partner, with the Nazi. There was an agreement that was made on paper of the type of rearing for children previous to me having them. I also made a choice of where they go to school. I made a choice of what doctors would be facilitating my children. I made choices all the way through. And I realized that I had a right to make choices. So everyone has a choice. It's easier if you have your own homestead, Bella. Cities are traps for energy, yeah. In the grand scheme, yeah. Cities are experimental zones. They are. They're meant to, it's better to live if you can, in a rural area, if you can. Just went to Costco and got some healthy stuff. Good, Lisa. It's better if you can live in a rural area. And I always say to the young sea stars, especially we have young mothers on here, it's always nice if you get a chance to merge together with other mothers. I think a lot of mothers, I don't say single mothers, because mothers are mothers and mothers. It's nice if you young women to lump together of the same minds and get a homestead together. And if you don't want to buy one together, you can easily rent in a farm area and you kind of help each other mother the children. You may have one mother, instead of letting men control you by doing polygamy, women can omit the men and just create a sisterhood themselves. You know that, right? The men make it seem like they have to be the end all be all and insert themselves in the sister wife system. But one thing I say, if you take out the man and you just have the sisterhood, I bet you will be more functional. There won't be competition, and you'll have mothers who you trust around your children. So if you have a mother who's a little older, she's a little more settled, or a grandmother, you have her watch the little ones while some of the younger ones work. Then you have the other ones who stay home, help with the little ones plant food, so that you are all cohesively working together. Take the males out of these scenarios, sea stars. We have to learn that these males utilize the fact that they know they have been projecting that we require them in order to sustain ourselves. I haven't known one polygamous system that worked well where the women were happy, but I do know systems when I see sisters working together in a sister wifehood where they're taking care of each other's children and helping each other out, and everyone's balanced. I think that's healthy, and many of you can do that. Many of you can live in farm areas. It's not so expensive, and people rent out homes on farms, and they'll let mothers stay there. And mothers can stay a little closer in quarters, too. So you can have mothers who have, house doesn't have to be too big. Women don't mind collectively staying together because you only have women around. So, take that as an opportunity to look into that. Some of our young, especially our young sea stars, you guys are so smart and talented. You can make that work so beautifully. Just have a sisterhood where you work together. And if you have any males that you're dating and so on, don't bring them to your collective. Leave them outside. If you want to have sexual liaisons with your males, leave them outside. They're not allowed to come to your sisterhood. They have to see you outside so they're not messing up the dynamics of the sisterhood. You know what I mean? Because when males insert themselves, they start to mess with women by creating competition. So rather than allowing that, keep your sisterhood nice and tight. And then on the outside, if you want to date or something, you let the other sisters watch your children, but keep the male out of your, it's not even healthy to have a male who isn't the father around children that isn't his anyway. Okay, so it's nice to do that. It's just my suggestion. I always thought it would be beautiful to have that kind of commune. I am almost 50 and have a friend who wants to do this. Also, this is beautiful, Lisa. Listen, sea stars, talk to each other. I support it 1000%. I know it can work. I've seen it. I've seen it work. I've seen it work with girlfriends from Croatia. Girlfriends from Croatia did this. They did this together. They came to the country. It was good because they did it because they couldn't speak English well, and it was only 2 or 3 of them that could. So what they did is they brought the children in a collective. One was a divorcee, the other one's husband had died in war, and what was the other one? The other one was just a little older. So they did a little collective, and it actually worked. And they actually had more resources, more money, that they kept into the household. The ones that spoke English did really well commerce-wise, but the other ones were very resourceful. So and the babies thrived. Anytime I went in the house with the babies, oh my gosh, they were so smart because they had moms at home thriving with the babies, and the other moms felt like if they worked late, if they couldn't get, if they always had someone home with the babies. You know what I mean? So that was nice as well. You know, they felt secure. Sounds like noise. What do you hear? Static? That could be my air. Cora, that could be my air. My air, that could be the air that's on. Now Bella is working on it as we speak. We just need about 100K total in funds to buy land, build a house or two. Roma, I think it's a great idea. I say collective women come together. And I always suggest, like I said, men will always insert themselves. My suggestion, just as FleurBrun, and I'm not anti-man. You know I like men. I love men, healthy men. I love healthy men, and I'm all about females mating with healthy men. But all I say is if you do this together, I promise you, so long as you have to know the dynamics of people's personality. Remember, you have to be around women who are same or similar background. Just make sure you know that. Because women who are healthy or women that are very good with other women. Now, if a woman says to you she doesn't get along with other women in her life, but she likes you, she will fail when she's in a community, because there's a reason why she's not very female friendly. You need female friendly women, not very aggressive, but very community oriented to work this, okay? If you get too aggressive a female, she will start to cause ripples, and then you're gonna have like some sort of tyranny. Make sure the women are very loving and righteous. Make sure they don't have male issues, because males will try to insert themselves, try to come in as a husband to sister wives, and then he'll have all the girls flipping tricks, you know what I mean? So make sure you keep males outside of it. That's just my suggestion. And then you won't have to worry about children being molested, because you have all females around that are healthy, that are protective of their own offspring, and they'll be protective of yours. See, I love this. They're talking amongst each other. Hard to find. There's some healthy women. I mean, I know some really amazing sea stars. I do, and you do too. You just have to be okay with either having one or two, or if you have three, you have to make sure the dynamics are good. You know, or is one a very drama oriented? If she, you know, that wasn't be somebody who's community oriented. If they usually come from large families, usually the women are very family oriented. If she's good with mother, she's family oriented, because women who are very healthy with their mom and feel good about the way they were reared, and mommy had good dynamics with women, that's also good. Yeah. So, you know, just vet everyone out. That's how you do. Just vet everyone out and be nice. And then take your resources. If you get 4 of you, get $20,000 each. $20,000 here, $20,000 here, $20,000 here, $20,000 here. Take each one of you and you bring 20 G's to the table. Say, I could bring 20 G's, you could bring 20 G's, you could bring 20 G's, and everybody got 20 G's. Bam. You know what I mean? And that makes everybody equal partner. That makes everybody equally as integrity ridden, because they're all going to want to make sure everything's cohesive if each one brought the same amount to the table. Okay, so just make sure of that. No Super Balls allowed. Don't get me in trouble. The Meg gets so upset. Mr. Corey already got mad at me saying Super Balls already. Because as soon as you start talking about Super Balls, I'm just saying, listen, for our males on here, big up to our males on here, our Sun Stars. This isn't a dig to males. I just know that women do better when males are not inserted in the dynamics. Whenever males are inserted in the dynamics, usually it causes ripples, because men tend to, by the nature that they are, the conquerors. You know, he may like one of you, then he may be, you know, side-eyeing your girlfriend, and you get pissed off her because you feel like you let him get away. You know what I mean? Rather than do that, only allow males to visit the women on the outside of the house. If you want to sleep overnight, you got women at home with the babies, so you can always take a night or a weekend with your lover, your mate, and you know that the babies are safe with the other sisters. You know what I mean? You know that they're safe. You know the babies aren't going to be around other males that are tyrannical or molesters. So this way you can actually date, and actually it makes it a lot easier. So you don't have to pay for childcare. You don't have to do all that. You have sisters that you trust, and their children are there too. So they're going to make sure everything's cohesive. Okay? Look, the sea stars are already coordinating. I love it. You know, the sisterhood is already online. Y'all are all going to start pockets of little communities. Truth with the condition of males playing the game as far as home life. Yeah, it's very sad. A lot of these males are out here utilizing women's yonis as, you know, barter. You know what I mean? So rather than do that, like I said, I love our sun stars. I love healthy males. I love mating with healthy males. I will always do that. But for that reason, I also know it's not healthy to have males around a whole lot of females, because they'll tend to want to dominate. It's their nature. So rather than do that, have fun, you know? Unlimited Popeye sandwiches. Who just said that? Who's bringing in Popeyes here? Troll with a purpose? You better not bring any of them chips, chicken sandwiches in this group. We rebuke the chicken Popeyes chicken sandwiches. That's you trying to bring unlimited sandwiches into the sisterhood. They're gonna be fighting in the house. Could you imagine? You start the sisterhood and somebody brings home unlimited, a whole bunch of Popeyes chicken sandwiches. That sisterhood is done. Hey, David. You don't know anyone who's awake? Listen, family, there's so many, there's little pockets of us, and I say a lot of you talk amongst each other. So this is where it's nice, because you have to literally get together. Now, with the males will be like, okay, FleurBrun, you're saying that women get together. You know, what about us males? I love when males create healthy pockets for themselves, because it makes you safer as well. Males can work well with one another. Now, you get an alpha in the mix, he may be more domineering unless he's got betas around. I say you males start your own little village as well, and you can start building. You know guys who are great builders. You know a lot of the blue-collar workers, right? A lot of you blue-collar workers can build from scratch. Then you get the more, you know, the guys who are corporate guys, let them go out and work, and you guys build. And then when you start starting families, make sure you position places so your family can be secure. Make sure it's a woman that you desire to have offspring with. Make sure it's separated from the other males, because males are competitive. You don't want him trying to mate with your female. Okay, you can do things like that. So just make sure that if these are things that males can do too. Men are protectors of women, and they protect from predators. They forgot their jobs. I agree. Men have become the predators. That's why I say we can't have them on site. So, you know what I mean? You know, I agree with that. Men are supposed to be protectors, and it should be healthy to have men around to protect the offspring. But men have become competitive. They've also become very female, almost female-like in the competitiveness. And also they become abusive when it comes to females. You know, become very predatorial with females. So because of that, it's very difficult to have that men around in that system. Even creating the sanctuary, you know, I had a meeting about the sanctuary with a friend of mine, and we were discussing the dynamics of sanctuary. And I was just saying how I want it set up, and we wanted to see if it was pro or pro. But at the end of the day, I just make the decisions. I know how men are, and I also know how women are, just in the grand scheme of things. I know how things get competitive sometimes, and I know personalities. So in order to create healthy communities, you don't need tons of bosses. You don't. Because bosses will cause upheaval. People who like to command things and you know, who are just overzealous or over, you know, very aggressive. You have to have more of a communal people. Like I said, people who come from big families tend to be more communal because they're used to having lots of brothers and sisters. They're used to sharing. You know what I mean? And dynamics in the house where they were shared all the time. You get people who will come from communal backgrounds, it's easier. If you get someone who was a single child in their house, not saying anything's wrong with that, they're used to getting their way. You know what I mean? It's hard for them to actually, it'll be hard for them to actually, you know, do the ways. I know single children that end up being great people, but it's a little more difficult because they're always used to getting their way and they're not used to sharing So it just depends. Personalities matter. So, just, work in alignment with people. And you don't have to live on top of people too if you get a couple acreage. And always vet out people. Child molesters show up as child molesters. My thing is, if I don't know you, I want to see your family. That's how I roll. Why don't you talk to your mother? How come you don't talk to your mother? What's the situation with your father? How close are you with your siblings? Okay, how many children? Those are the questions I'll ask. I'm more of a clinician in that way. I can vet out anyone's family dynamics by just asking you basic questions. Okay, when a person doesn't get along with their mother, male or female, you just have to be mindful. Okay, because there's a reason with that, and that will flow over into how they feel in the dynamics of relationships with others. Women are used to, AB says, women are usually aggressive due to us, for them going to work, competing with other women and men in the workplace. Females are like cats. We're supposed to be lazy. I don't know about that. The workplace does spark competition, and it makes women uneasy. Yeah, and women are more so leisurely creatures by nature. Women like to do things like, that's why women used to crochet, they used to sew, they used to grow herbs, they cook and things like that. They're nurturers. They sit and do puzzles with children. That's the nature of a woman. So I do agree with you to that. I don't consider that lazy. I think that's a natural state of how women are. When women have to go into war zone and be the protector and the provider, you kind of, she's in this matrix, she can become there's a lack of harmony with her. That's all. Because women because I will tell you, as a stay-at-home mom, I know. Oh, my little ones are getting wild in the garage. Most of the stay-at-home moms were miserable. So for all those women thinking that stay-at-home moms are all happy, it's all gravy, our husbands work making 6 figures plus, everything's all good in the hood, that isn't true. I know a lot of stay-at-home moms that were miserable because it wasn't balanced. They were always home. They weren't respected. They were bored. They were always in child's world without having any breaks. So it isn't the case. I knew more working women who had more healthiness than women who actually stayed home. So, the grass isn't greener on the other side. It's a balance between the two. That's why I say it's very healthy for women. What the polygamist, their stamp is, listen, the polygamist, you know why the polygamist thing appeals to women, if it does? The only thing that appeals to women in polygamy is the sisterhood. You know why? Because it's helpful that when you need sleep, FleurBrun is up doing crafts with the children. So you can go take a nap, and me and Timmy and Rebecca and Charleston, we're sitting down and we're writing and we're doing crafts together while mommy's taking a nap because she's tired, because she's been nursing all night. And then I can have the baby and I can feed them. Then when she gets up, she's all regenerated, and then she wants to cook like this huge meal. And that's the time I can go and she lets the children stay with her. You see what I mean? Women like the appeal of that because other women on site, that's why many of us have our mothers at our houses when we give birth to our children. So it's really the appeal of polygamy is not the men. It is the sisterhood and the assistance with raising that village that appeals to that woman. She loves that, and I know it's healthy. I just think polygamy is utilizing a healthy system to parasite off of women sexually, because he's parasiting off of her. He can't possibly satisfy each woman. Women have a healthy woman has a higher sexual desire than men. A healthy woman of prime age, I'm talking about women from usually around 22 to around going on into 46, sometimes to 55. Women have healthy sexual libido. A woman can has more stamina sexually as far as her wanting sexuality more sometimes than the mate that she has. So you take that, and then you take a man who could barely satisfy one woman, and then you tell him to 62, right? Yeah, 60. Listen, I had an aunt who looks like she's 30 something. She's almost 80. Men mistaken her for like being in her late 30s. and they're kicking it to her. So women always have a heightened sense of sexuality. So what's interesting is that you think that a man can satisfy one woman with a healthy sexuality, and then he's going to try to share that amongst 3 and 4? Really? She decided who the wives were, in some cases brought them to the man even when he did not want a new wife. Who is this? Oh, who's this? Her story. Hey, her story too. What up, Sea Stars? Who did this? She decided who. Well, I think that's healthier if she chooses, and that's another thing. If she's choosing, if a woman desires that, then maybe she desires it for a lot of different reasons. Probably to help with the children. Maybe she doesn't want to have sex with him. And my thing is, why be married to someone that you're not attracted to sexually, that you don't even want to have sex with him? It was back in the days. My thing is, why be with a man that you're not sexually attracted to enough to want to have sex with him, but you want to bring in other women to do that duty because you don't even want to do it? My thing is, that's abusive to you. Because women should be healthy. Women are sexual. Healthy women are sexual and should be sexually active if it's healthy. You know what I mean? I just think it's healthy for a woman to be engaged in sexual behavior if she's healthy. If she's denying herself sexuality based on being with a male too long, I've talked about this, being the expiration of a relationship, and she's been with him so long she isn't attracted to him and he's not attracted to her, that isn't healthy. That's when people get sick. Okay, unless she's had surgery. Some people just don't have sexual desire like that anymore. They had babies, they don't have sexual libido like that. It's different. But if a healthy woman has a healthy libido, a man who's a polygamist cannot satisfy all those women. He just can't. Because she may be horny on a Tuesday, he can't have sex with her, but on Wednesdays, the other chick has him on Monday and Sundays. Do you see what I mean? So when she wants to have him, she may want to have sex on that Tuesday. No, she may want to have sex with him on Wednesday and Sunday, and that's because her libido's ready, but he's already having sex with someone. She can't even fit herself in this. Come on now. Normally, when you are a healthy couple, if a woman is excited, the man is going to have sex with her right on site. Same likewise, okay? So all this dipping and diving, sharing couples, people can't even master monogamy. Let alone master 20 different women in the household with different menses cycles, which end up sinking. Are not contactees welcome to the Yes, let's go back to the conference, because I went all off. This is like an IG conversation. I'm sorry. We're having conversations here. We're all over. I'm sorry. This is like on IG, we get into these seedy conversations. This is a little more IG. For the conference, yes, listen. For those for the conference, a lot of people said they couldn't see the last, the flyers. I'm sorry. It's for today for some reason. It could be the storm that's distorting it. Everybody else got their flyers and they could see it. So everybody today is saying they can't see their flyers. I will resend out the flyers to everybody. I'm sorry about that. Make sure you send me another text, another message saying you didn't get it properly, so I know it's you. For those who are contactees going who want to come to the conference, you get discounted if you decide you want to share your story. So you can contact me and say, listen, I'm a contactee. I tell you, you can get discounted for sharing your journey. I think that's fair because it is an experiencer conference. This is about you sharing your contact to really extend the level of intel. I find a lot of the conferences are based on the same people talking about the same contact, and they're not even having new contact. And it's a whole brotherhood thing. This is based on contactees actually refreshed. That's why every conference will have different people. I won't do a recycling of the same people for conferences. I think that's unhealthy. I think it's a business for them, and I think that isn't a conference. That's just a money making circle. Okay. So like I said, for the cost of the conference is as is. Last year the cost of the conference was the same. I made zero money. It was a wash. I enjoyed it, and I'm doing it again. So this isn't about FleurBrun making money. Everything is coming out of my own pocket. Whatever comes in just kind of washes the price, okay? But if you do come in, you definitely, you want to speak, I will definitely discount your ticket. Again, if you want to come in and perform, just notify me. For those who are staying in B&Bs, you don't have to stay at the hotel I suggested. There's B&Bs around the local area. We're staying, the conference is in the Bayou, okay? So it's in the Bayou. It's a beautiful location. I picked it out. It's an 8-acre location. So FleurBrun is about this life. One thing I say, if you come to the conference, like the castle was a beautiful event. I'm Creole, and I come from a very interesting family. I always make sure that you have the most amazing time, and I will make sure wherever you go, it will be on site and beautiful. So I picked an amazing location. It's 8 acres on a bayou, specifically for this. So, you know, like I said, because I think people were asking why the location, because I wanted to do it in the bayou this year. Anyone can purchase the tickets. You just have to email me. I'll send you the flyers, and you do so. A lot of people are reserving right now, but I was talking initially to those who already reserved because they're already booking. A lot of people are excited because some of the people are from last year, so they bought the tickets first. So a lot of my last year brethren bought their tickets first. So for them, I'm just refreshing where to stay because last time it was on site. This is a different location. Okay. And again, contact me with delgaddess@gmail.com. You'll see it in the description box. You can contact me via email. I'll check my email after this. Oh my God, I must have like 10. Again, I have a sisterhood going on in FleurBrun's garage right now. I have all the neighborhood little girls. See, I don't just talk about it. I'm because of the vibration I have, all the little girls come to my house. All the little neighborhood girls come to my house. It's because I love the sisterhood. I am about that. My mother was amazing, had a host of girlfriends, still does, since I was a little girl. I'm like that. I still have the same friends that I had when I was a little girl since kindergarten. So it tells you the type of person I am. Okay, so I'm about the sisterhood. So when I speak about love and womanly camaraderie, I'm totally speaking from a place of existing with healthy women liaisons and also being supportive of it. It isn't something, I'm not going to talk about something that I'm not a party to or not practicing in my life. And the little people in my garage, which are probably going to come in for snacks, because I had to go shopping for snacks. I just hope they don't eat all the snacks before the storm. I bought all the snacks for the neighborhood children. So, you know, just, you know, you have to be what you want to, you have to emulate what you want for your little ones to participate in. If I want healthy children, I have to live in a healthy way. And if you notice, you haven't ever seen any man on my feed. And that's why I say, Sea Stars, you can exist without being attached to, you can have healthy mates. I love my twin. I love him. I love everything about him. I love being a party to him. I love Kirk. You don't see them on my feed. You don't see them incorporated. I don't add their name to my channel. Why? It's because I'm healthy independently. If I have a mate, they're healthy in their way. They don't have to bleed over into my world. We already coincide our worlds in a healthy way, in a very holistic way. They're holistic where they are, and so on. That isn't healthy. He doesn't have to be a party to my channel. He doesn't do all this. But, you know, he does his world. I don't have to be a part of that. We coincide in things. We have same friends, family. We have very close dynamics. That's how we roll. Yes, Charlene, it's all about extraterrestrials. This is you know, again, why I invited, you know, let's talk about who's coming to the conference. We have a Luna Ash who's coming to the conference. She's amazing. I've wanted to do something with a Luna Ash since the beginning. She's absolutely amazing. She's so integrity ridden. Her energy speaks volumes. I personally knew if I was going to do a conference in the Bayou, in nature, in such a beautiful place, a Luna Ash is the person to speak to and to have speak at the conference. I think it's amazing. It matches her personality. She's so soft-spoken. I think it would be a great opportunity to really converge with those also who experienced the event last year. Okay, and many of you know Ada from the last conference. Now, Ada was not speaking at the last conference, but she sure should have. Ada, if you don't know, if you watch my conference, Ada is the one who talked about meeting the extraterrestrial, a couple of them, but one particularly that had the obsidian grill, the black crystal grill. It was one of the ETs that she met, and he had a grill. You know how people put fake teeth on, all the brown people, they used to have gold teeth? There was a reason why we emulate certain things. She actually met the ETs that actually had obsidian grills. So she spoke about her experiences. She's so amazing. She's flying all the way from Cali to come speak. I told her at the last conference, I said, you are the number one person I want to come to my conference and speak. Her. I'll be talking about contactee, and also one more thing. For many of you don't know Ada's connection to Dr. Delbert Blair, which you already know. Dr. Delbert Blair was one of my most amazing teachers, who basically helped me through my contact experience. She actually got to experience and see Dr. Blair right before he passed, and she'll be sharing that story at the conference. So it's amazing. Ada was there. It's actually an amazing share, and it's beyond this comprehension. So I felt like Ada, if anybody, should have been here. Also, we have the Cosmic Poet is coming. A lot of people are just coming because they've been a part of this family for a long time. Cosmic Poet, which a lot of people know is in Cali, is coming through, always coming with the extra energy. I always bring performances because I'm a very musical person. I come from very island-based people. I always incorporate, I think a conference is what I want to bring. One of the things that people, many of the collective, when I was talking about ET experiences, were complaining to the conferences that I wasn't getting invited. Many of you talked about Contact in the Desert. There was a couple of conferences in Cali, and people were going to the conference, and saying, how come you're not inviting FleurBrun to the conference? She's a contactee. You have people who aren't even contactees to a degree, but they weren't inviting me. So I said to them, don't worry, don't beg for them to invite me somewhere. I don't have to legitimize, or it's not about legitimacy. They're scared of me, okay? They're scared of me for a good reason, because a lot of people who attend these conferences aren't true contactees. They've made a business out of this, and they want zero people who can vet it out, especially a woman of color who they feel is very psychic and very connected to a group that they aren't aware of and that aren't in contact with them. Okay, so that's number one. So I said after that, I will definitely make my own conference. I don't have to go to someone else's parade. I can create my own parade, and I can create a conference in a way that I know is vetted out. I plan it on my own. I do everything from the rooter to the tutor. It is all on me. I make sure that I invite those that I definitely feel have a lot to share. I make sure that your experience when you go to the conference is one and amazing, and you will always remember it. There will be fantastic food. You know, I'm going Creole style. There's going to be fantastic food, a fantastic entertainment, because I do bring music and rhythm with me with everything I do, and you will have amazing speakers to speak, including myself, okay? And it will continue to be like this, and it will grow, and I'll do more places and locations at the conference. So, for anyone else who's joining, we have, and you'll see a lot of the people who are down with FleurBrun, because, my admins are coming. You've got Sensei flying in from Sweden. You have my other admin who's flying in from Vancouver. People fly in from all different countries to come to the conference. They did last time as well. So, this is something that I want to make expansive, and also I want to make sure that I let contactees speak. It isn't right for us to keep having same people over and over again speaking. There are lots of people in contact with different beings, and the fact that we don't allow people with different intel to share limits our level of understanding of the galactics that are actually coexisting with many of us. It's very pertinent that everyone who's having contact, this is what the everybody talks about, oh, we want the reveal. We want mass disclosure. This is disclosure. This is disclosure. Me allowing you to speak and say and share your journey and who you're in contact with, that is disclosure. Me allowing ETs, interdimensionals, and extraterrestrials to come and speak on their behalf and share with us in a very safe space with people who are receptive to that, that's disclosure. Disclosure doesn't have to be so grandiose and governmental, because once the government is allotted in that, you already know it's been accepted. If the government is telling you about it, you already know something's wrong. Okay? So just know that. So for that reason, I want to allow expression for those who are having contact. I want to give women, because women are generally not respected at these conferences and not really spoken, and definitely not women of color. There hasn't been any women of color who've spoken on the behalf of the ETs and contactees. And, there's a reason why they black out FleurBrun from even trying to come to any conference, because this is not something that they want to even let you know that it's occurring, okay? So it starts with us. We start this and we do this. So the dates of the conference is, I'm having a masquerade ball, a masquerade gathering on October the 31st on All Hallows Eve in New Orleans. I always wanted to have a masquerade in New Orleans and the Bayou. So I'm having a masquerade gathering in the Bayou in New Orleans on All Hallows Eve. You do not have to come to that, but I tell you, it is going to be amazing. It's something I wanted to do. It is in honor of Marie Laveau, which is a very dear ancestor. And I wanted to give her honor. And also that is a beautiful veil opening day. And who's to say who comes to that? So that is also what's coming. So some people just want to come for the masquerade, okay? But you don't have to come for the masquerade that's on a Thursday, that's in New Orleans, in the Bayou, on Halloween. You don't have to come to that. The conference is Saturday, November 2nd. You could just come for the conference and enjoy the festivities, the people, the bonding. It'll be amazing. Okay, you could do both. And, you know, there's something for everyone. So cost of value, you don't have to do both, or you can do both. So it's basically get 10:30. You can always get a hotel 10:30 because you want to be there the day before, if you can. But it's going to be from 10:31 to November the 2nd. And also, we're going to also do greet and eat. So we're going to do greet and eat, and those are for people who are going to the masquerade and decided to do that. We're going to do greet and eat, and that's when people can meet up, and we go and sit down and have some good stuff, eating and talking. So, you know, I look forward to meeting everyone. Again, I'm in conference zone. I'm making sure, remember, this is a different type of conference, but it's very similar. So last year was in the castle. It was amazing. Everyone had an amazing time. We didn't even sleep. That's how amazing. It was really difficult to sleep. Hopefully we'll get some sleep this time. This time it's going to be in the Bayou of New Orleans. So I'm excited. Again, it's an 8-acre property. There is a bayou on site. It's beautiful. The landscaping will be amazing. It's in fall. I'm excited. I'm just really, really preparing and getting ready. I want to make sure it's an amazing event. And like I said, the people, just for the safety of everyone attending, this is how I get down. And this keeps integrity with any sort of event. And I recommend that for anyone who's doing this, because we're talking about ETs and this is an extraterrestrial event, I always leave anonymity. If you won't know the location, the only way you know the location is if you booked a ticket. If you booked your ticket, then you get part of the location. The location itself, the actual on-site placement of the actual event will be disclosed to you the week of the conference, okay? This allows safety to all those speakers who are coming in, who are being brave enough to share their journey, any extraterrestrials who decide to share their origin and share with us as a collective. And also this gives time for people to realize, you know, for those who try to incept, it just allows for them to even have any way in to be able to disrupt the gathering, okay? So I'm a very safety kind of person. So that's it, family. I think I'm gonna go relax. It's exciting, it's exciting. Like I said, I'll resend the flyers out again for those who booked already, because I didn't realize people were gonna book so early. I knew they book, but people are booking early. I kind of thought that it takes a while, because some people book initially and then they start booking, you know, as time goes on, because it, you know, for cost, they may not book right away, but people are booking right away, so I wasn't anticipating. I thought I had a little bit of time, so they're booking right away. So I just have to make sure I have places on, because the other place was a castle, we stayed on site, so I want to make sure they have places around the area so they are comfortable, but also I want to make sure they all know where each person is. So be there. Is Quentin going to be there? Who's Quentin? Who's Quentin? Q? You talking about Q? I will. I'll be safe. Thank you, Chandra. Are you talking about Q? Quentin is Q? The gentleman who I interviewed on site? I'm just looking to see. Oh, Q. Okay, Q. Not that I know of. I don't know if he's interested in just coming to the event. I'm only having, as far as like the main speakers, I'm having the women that I have there. Okay, so I think you guys are good. So I'm not going to keep you too long. I'm going to go rest, family. I'm going to relax. I've got nieces all in my garage. I got the sisterhood in my garage. they're gonna start a coup if I don't feed them. I gotta feed the sisterhood, because then they'll turn into a coup, and then I'll be taken over by the little ones. Okay, so if you have any questions, for those who again had the invitations and they couldn't see it, I'll just send it again. Again, it's something to do with today, because I've been sending it every day and it's been fine. I think sometimes with the weather, it could just be distorted, or the way I sent it. So it's amazing. And again, for those who are, let me state this again, for those who are extraterrestrials, interterrestrials, and interdimensionals, you are welcome as long as you are benevolent. You are welcome to speak at my event with a level of disclosure and anonymity, or non-anonymity if it isn't a requirement. We welcome you to speak, and we actually would like that. So anybody who is an extraterrestrial, please contact me at delgaddess, or just telepathically contact me, but we must speak and I must vet you out. I have to make sure you are, who you say you are, who you think you are, who you telepathically telling me you are. All right? So our family, I'm gone. Have a masterful, you may hear from me, maybe not. I'm going to be busy during the weekends. I'm going to watch Dark Crystal tonight, so I want to relax a little bit, get comfortable, because I'm sitting here in my dress that I've been in all day. Oh, thank you, Vicky Overton. I appreciate it, Mama. Thank you. And for all those in Florida, I wish you safety, happiness, and fun during this beautiful, wonderful weather that's coming in our way. Just make sure you're planting flowers, make sure you're keeping positive, make sure you're seeing yourself safe, and basically existing and getting all the messages that you get from that. Okay? So, all right, family. All right, I love you. I'll probably speak to you over the weekend, okay? Aw, thank you, Buffy's knocking it out with the 11:11. Thank you, Buffy. She's closing it out with the 11:11. I appreciate it, family. Be safe, be smart, be aware. Bye. Peace. Peace, peace, peace.